Today, I want to talk about how I am looking for a college counselor to help with my two sons. If you've been here before, you know that I have two rising freshmen in our household, along with two other youngins. And I need somebody to be their college counselor. How is that, you might ask? Since I am a college counselor, that's what we're going to talk about right now. Hello, everybody. I'm Phil Black. I run an online mentoring company called PrepWell Academy, where I help rising freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors make smart decisions about high school, about college, about majors, about careers, and about life. And over the last 6 months or so, I had a rude awakening to the fact that, wait a second, I've got two rising freshmen. They're going through the PrepWell program. I need somebody to talk to them, because if you're a parent of a teen, you probably know, and I'm getting a stark realization of this, that they don't always talk to their parents that much. And here's how I'm finding this out. When people sign up for PrepWell 2.0, I do a 30-minute onboarding session with them. This is after they send me a pretty comprehensive personal profile survey where I ask them their GPA, what standardized test scores they've gotten, what classes they're taking, what extracurriculars, do they play sports, what's their family life like, how many brothers and sisters do they have, what they do over the summer, what is their general awareness about colleges, and I get all this juice from these kids. And then I study it, and I look for patterns, and I look for holes and gaps and voids. And then when we have our onboarding session with them, sometimes in person, oftentimes with Skype and FaceTime, I get into the weeds with them, and I talk and I ask and I probe, and why this, and what about this, and how about work experience, and what do you think about this class, and why did you decide on ASL instead of French? And I get through all this stuff, and what do you know about colleges, and which colleges are you thinking about, if anything? And we go off, and I talk to them frankly, and sometimes I challenge them, sometimes I pat them on the back, and then I write up a comprehensive summary called a student readiness assessment. And I send that to the parents after I speak to them. And I go through dimensions like how conscientious do they seem like they are? How engaged in the call were they? Were they well lit? Were they well attired? Did they have a pen and paper to take notes? How was their academic trajectory? How are their extracurriculars doing? What is their level of awareness of colleges? This is all, by the way, relative to other kids in the country and other PrepWellers. And I actually give them a grade to show parents, are they behind the curve? Are they just about in the middle? Or are they way behind the curve? Or are they way ahead of the curve? And I get responses back from parents like, how did you find that out from my son? Where did my daughter come up with this stuff? I don't get any of this juice. And I say, hey, I just talked to him. So the point is, it's very important and I think very useful for a third party to get involved, especially when your son or daughter is young, especially if they're a boy. I have all boys, and my boys just got back from a 2-week vacation. I asked them how things were, and they said, good, end of story. That's not good. I want more juice. So sometimes there's a communication problem. Sometimes it's just you're too close. Kids think that you have some kind of an angle or some kind of an agenda. So man, it is great to have somebody outside the influence of the family to dig in and figure out what these kids are thinking about and then to give you a report. So number one suggestion is, if you have anyone you know who could be a college counselor to my kids, let me know. I'd like to have somebody go through this assessment, send me that assessment so I know where they stand compared to other kids in their peer group. And the other thing is, if you are the only one discussing these things with your kids, think about finding somebody else. Maybe you have an uncle, maybe there's a mentor, somebody who can talk about these things. Or if you're not a PrepWeller yet, you could consider enrolling in PrepWell 2.0, which we are opening up in about 2 weeks. Typically, we only open it up at the end of spring so that we can really hammer these kids home on setting summer goals. But I was convinced to open it up again for a short window in September because we opened it up at the end of school, and there was Memorial Day, and a lot of people missed the window, and they've been asking if we can open it up. So I don't want to wait another whole year. So I'm going to, on a one-off, I'm going to open up again in September for a couple days. So if you know somebody, if you're interested, if you want this type of interaction, this would be PrepWell 2.0, where you have that onboarding session. Take a look at your email if you're on our mailing list and you're getting information from us. If you're not, please sign up. Go to PrepWellAcademy.com, put your name, your email, and what grade your son or daughter's in, and we'll hook you up. If you have somebody who you think could use this information, maybe they have a rising freshman, sophomore, junior, senior, or even a younger kid in middle school, please let them know, tag them or share this with them. And please give me a thumbs up. Let me know that I'm out here and I'm not talking to myself. And let me know if you have a topic or suggestion for tomorrow's bit. I have committed to you that I'm coming at you every day during the summer to give you a tidbit, a little piece of advice, a little prompt, a little have you tried this, to try to help your teen through this very interesting but often challenging time period. Thank you for joining. Prep on, my friends. Prep on, and I'll see you tomorrow.